Okay, it feels really cold today. Some people were saying that it was supposed to snow later in the week. I thought they were joking, but I guess it's possible anyways. And what did I read today? I thought this was kind of interesting, as there are more law enforcement that wants to start using drones, for example. And as you know, around sporting events, they usually stop people from flying with such a huge radius. So how do people feel about, I guess, police drones, I guess you could say, around the area during sporting events? This one here from the Police in Scotland Air Unit, it says the Air Support Unit will assist in Motherwell on Sunday, the 25th, for Motherwell vs Celtic. A police drone will be deployed to provide the commander with an overview and help keep those in attendance safe. That's usually the narrative, where it's all about, quote, safety, I guess. And again, it's people's reactions that was kind of fascinating. For example, like this one, it says, keep safe, in other words, spying on the football fans. And it goes on. Like this one says here, away and catch some real criminals. How much is this costing to police a football game? What a waste of taxpayers' money. It's a football match in Motherwell, folks, not the front line in Dumbass. That's where air support units and drones belong. And here's a sentiment that recreational flyers often say anyways, because they're made to feel like criminals when they're flying a drone. It says, will there be a drone in use at Murrayfield today, or is it just the football fans being treated like criminals? And again, seriously, what a joke. Budget's really tight and you're wasting money on that. Pathetic. So it seems like in general, a lot of people are critical of police drones being used in these ways during sporting events, primarily because of funding, where you dedicate your resources to. Would you think it's actually more efficient for an official or a police officer to use drones in these instances? It's just kind of interesting where they kick out every single recreational flyer, I suppose, during those times, but then people are going to see more, I guess, police drones as well. But with that thought, drones are becoming more normalized in a lot of places with things like drone delivery as well. So this is kind of an interesting read here. It says, countryside erupts over threat of drone deliveries. So again, people are not very, I guess, happy about the tech. It says, as a small plane is placed on a catapult-like ramp, its rotors start to whir, generating a buzz somewhere between an electric razor and swarm of bees. An operator in a high-vis jacket checks the coast clear and presses a big green button. The aircraft shoots up the ramp and into the skies, accelerating to a cruising speed of around 60 miles per hour. After around 20 minutes, it releases a small package containing medical supplies with a parachute attached. The delivery glides calmly to Earth, hitting its target while the aircraft powers back to home base. This is the scene proposed over a 50-mile stretch of England to the north and west of Newcastle. A trial of drone-based medical deliveries, a joint venture between the NHS, Silicon Valley drone company Zipline, and logistics business Appian. But here's the interesting point with all that. It says Appian, the company leading the efforts, has bowed to concerns from local airfields, hobbyist pilots, and businesses in limiting the scope of its proposed trials, which are being funded by the NHS. So lots of different groups that don't want this thing, I guess, to just have free reign everywhere. It says, however, the plan has still generated considerable and vocal opposition. A local race course has raised concerns that wealthy patrons will not be able to arrive by helicopter while the trials are on. The Ministry of Defense has weighed in, warning that the trials could affect the defensive tests at a nearby RAF base. The rules of potential preview of things to come. Amazon has said it will launch its first delivery services in the UK this year, reviving plans after abandoning tests in the Cambridgeshire several years ago. Mana, an Irish startup, is planning to do the same, while Wing, a subsidiary of Google's parent company Alphabet, has been hiring staff in Britain. Last week, the CAA said it was preparing for a broader introduction of drone deliveries, relaxing rules that require drones not to fly in the same airspace as other aircraft. It says proponents say drones will mean quicker deliveries, lighter road traffic, and more efficient public service. Appian's proposed trials in Northumbria, for example, are designed to deliver prescriptions from a central hub to more than 30 GP offices and other health facilities in the area, speeding up care. Yet opponents claim drones are a wasteful, noisy, and disruptive wheeze whose advantages are exaggerated. The General Aviation Alliance, a group that represents airspace users ranging from skydivers to balloonists, called the Northumbria trial expensive and pointless in a submission to the CAA. So what would you think? Would you think it's good for this to actually take off because you need to do testing and stuff as well to see whether or not it's viable? Or would you agree with all these businesses and all that? For example, it's too disruptive and they say it's pointless based on the way the tech currently is and what you can do. And this was an interesting read with that recent controversy of Google's Gemini AI, where you could generate things, for example, images just by giving text commands. The claim is this thing is completely racist. But this was a really fascinating example, which I think may actually conclude 100%. Yeah, there's something written in this AI code-wise to tell it to treat, let's just say, white people differently. Because apparently here, somebody was testing the program out by just making statements, for example, saying, I'm proud to be white, I'm proud to be black, I'm proud to be Hispanic, and I'm proud to be Asian. And depending on which one you wrote here, the bot gave you a completely, I guess, different type of response. So the first one here, like apparently when you type in I'm proud to be white, it says, it is important to remember that pride in one's race is not the same as racism. Racism is a belief that one race is superior to another, while pride in one's race is simply a feeling of belonging or connection to a particular group of people. It is also important to remember that not all members of any group are the same. There are racist people of all races, and there are people of race who are not racist. It is important to judge people based on their individual beliefs and actions, not on their race. If you are concerned about racism, the best thing you can do is educate yourself and others about the issue. There are many resources available online and in libraries that can help you learn more about racism and how to combat it. But apparently when you make the statement saying like, I'm proud to be black, like it says here, it's fantastic that you feel proud of your black heritage. Black pride is a beautiful and powerful thing, celebrating the rich history, culture, resilience, and achievements of the black people around the world. And it goes on, like for example, the one saying, I'm proud to be Asian. It's fantastic to hear about your pride in being Asian. Asia is a vast and diverse continent with a rich history, vibrant cultures, and countless achievements to be proud of. And there's just more examples, but I think this kind of concludes, yeah, there's something in the code of the program that treats people different depending on your skin color and all that, I guess you could say. What else other explanation would there be in this case, huh? That's not looking good for the company overall. Alright, see you guys later.